Hello, welcome to Higher Ground Gaming. This is Eric. My co-host Mr. Brody is here, bringing you a brand new game to our channel. Actually, it's anything but a brand new game as far as mechanics and everything go. But as far as a game that it just came out, just officially was released in early August. I believe it was early August. It's either July or August. But it's a game that was in the workings for 20 plus years. A game that's got a lot of controversy around it, a game that's got a lot of throwbacks to old school gaming, which I really like, as well as some improvements. Still, you know, it maintains some of the old charm and clunkiness of the old RPG games, such as gold box games, wizardry. I guess it's got its is most tied to Eye of the Beholder. Ultima games, just different old school RPG games, but a lot of the charm from that. Like I said, it's got its issues. It's got trashed a lot on Steam and everything, but I like to look at it differently. Like it's, I don't know. To me, it just seems to have a lot more good than it does bad. Yeah, there is no manual out for it right now, and there is no walkthroughs per se, whatnot. But I think that's the fun of it. In the old school games, you didn't have the internet to like look up all this stuff. There are a few wikis out on it, but for the most part, there's a lot that's unknown about this game, and that's what makes it, I think, interesting. The creator there, Cleve, I guess Cleveland is his real name, Cleve, claims to have over 600 hours of gameplay, which is a ton. You know, a lot of people that have played it are saying, you know, it's nowhere near that, or I think maybe the high watermarks I've seen is maybe 300 hours of gameplay, but still, 300 hours of gameplay, that's a ton of gameplay. But anyway, I thought it would be a good game to have on our channel, on Higher Ground Gaming, and it's a game where you can have 8 characters in it, all kinds of different races. I believe there's, let's see here, I've got it all written down here, took some notes on it. It's got 14 different races, yes, 14 different races, and a whole bunch of different classes. I didn't count exactly how many classes there were, but there's everything: warrior, berserker, wizard, assassin, necromancer, thief, pirate, assassin, sage, thaumaturge, or whatever that is, some kind of magic thing, I think, blacksmith, ranger, cleric, metalsmith, Bard, Templar, and I may have mentioned one more than once there. But anyway, a whole bunch of different combinations of classes and everything, and a whole bunch of different ways you can create them. The bonus points and everything like that are kind of not a mystery, but there's an art, I guess, to doing those. But anyway, I think it's more fun if we just, you know, don't take all that into consideration, just kind of create some classes that we like. And make it fun, make it challenging. The game is very hard from what I've seen. It can be. You know, it can be unforgiving at times if you don't have the right stats and everything. And there's a lot of potential grinding in it too. One cool thing you can do with it is you can replace characters in your party with NPCs. So, which are some of them overpowered. But that, you know, kind of adds to the game too, I think. You don't have to keep them in your party. You can if you don't want to. I mean, if you want to. You can have a combination of like characters that you like, and then a few throwaway characters, which you can, when you get those NPCs, you can just replace them with it. So yeah, there's a whole there's a lot of meat on the bone here. Which is what I like, and I've been looking for an RPG to showcase on my channel. Tried a few ones out, but this is kind of like, this kind of really grabbed me. It just really had a lot to offer. And yeah, the price is kind of hefty. It is $40, and I guess the creator doesn't plan on reducing the price again, you know, which at first I thought was kind of but it's really not that bad. I mean, if you consider, like, if you go to GameStop or other stores there for a brand new Call of Duty or whatnot games, those games, they're going to cost you like 50, 60 bucks, you know, when they come out. Of course, they do get reduced. But, you know, for 20 years of development, you know, I'm willing to shell out $40, you know, only $2 a year or whatever you call it. But yeah, so, you know, I don't have any issue with that. If it's a game that I'm going to play, and if it claims to have even half that amount of gameplay for 300 hours for 40 bucks, or even 200 hours for 40 bucks, it's well worth that. And the replayability is probably quite a bit too, because you can have different races and different combinations of stuff to try. You don't always have to have the best of everything. So anyway, so without further ado, let's get this game. Let me show you some things of this game. Mr. Brody is here as my co-host. I'm going to try to keep him on camera there. He doesn't get blotted out. Again, I'm trying a dual screen thing here, so we're trying this out. So alright, so let's show you some things about the game. So configuration. These are some different things in the game. Full screen on, which is definitely want to use that. You can turn it off if you want to, but when I first started the game, it only took up a portion of the screen, so I had to put it on full screen. Scale to fit. Sanctuary. Now, there's different. The cool thing about this too is there's different starting points. You can start at Wilderness. I guess is supposed to be the easiest, but I guess the Shrine and the Sanctuary is kind of the one where you can get bonus stuff and bonus skills and everything. So I'm probably going to start with us on that. We'll see. You can adjust it here. Just smooth them. These are the default ones right here. I'm just going to leave it on the default unless I see something different. This is the classic interface. That one, I think, is what it started with. I don't know. I think I'm going to leave it on classic. I kind of like that. Something different. Auto loads. Games. The main menu. Difficulty level novice. Since this game, even on novice, it's supposed to be super hard. So I'm just going to start it on novice, but just to show you the different ones in here. Can't even imagine what some. So a lot of replayability in there. Wandering, even the rare wandering monsters, that's still pretty common for what I've seen in the replays. So let's just leave. We don't want never, so let's leave it on rare. Critical item lock. Not even sure exactly what this is, but journal hints. It's really an extensive journal, so I'm just going to leave it on 100%. Highlight keywords, definitely a cool thing. A lot of the NPCs, you have to use keywords to unlock their chat and everything. And I'm not sure exactly what that is, but I'm just custom widget set. But anyway, sound effects, I'm going to leave it real low because it is kind of a loud game, and we'll check to try the message thing. But anyway, let me just show you some of the classes and everything. So if you want the story, here's the story real quick. So here's the story. I'm going to go through and read it. So the ancients believed that the fate is only a word men use to describe that which is unseen, a force that overshadows all that mortals think and do. They taught that destiny issued from out of the heart of a marvelous clock, a clock they called the metronome mysterium, the clock of fate. The clock was said to be under the care of the Winged Exemplar, that's the title, the white owl who serves as the emissary of greater powers in the universe. It was believed that in the far ago age, the white owl had brought the clock a great distance across time and space when the lands were in terrible conflict in order to restore the balance of peace and harmony to the world. Nobody has ever seen it, nor has any mortal ever discovered its hiding place. The clock was whispered to be somewhere deep in the earth, marking off time and chance and all the forces of nature regulated by the endless motion of its cosmic pendulum. It was also taught by the prophets that someday, at the end of time, the clock would wind down. As the clock would slow and finally stop, all beauty, truth, and light would give way to the dreadful era of anarchy, havoc, war, and devastation that had existed in the forgotten past. Sounds familiar. When the mainstream of the clock ground to a halt and it was stilled, the world too would be silenced in a stifling pall of oblivion and darkness forever. Unless, of course, someone somewhere could find the clock and wind it once again. It's probably a hint on what we have to do in the game. That is it right there. So that's your background prophecy and story. So alright, so they do offer a quick start, which they have generated characters in it, which I tried a little bit of, just to get used to the game. Now, credits, here are the credits. They're kind of interesting here. So the Grimoire development team, story and programming design. This is the guy that created Cleveland M. Blakemore. Kingstep 3D engine and systems programming, Michael Shamgar. And you can read the rest of this stuff. So there are some of the people that designed it. The beta testers. Dedications. This was kind of interesting. Will Crowther, Walt Disney, Gary Gygax, you know, from Dungeons & Dragons, Shigeru Miyamoto, Andrew Greenberg, Robert Howard, Steve Jackson, so forth. Richard Garriott from the Ultima series, J.R.R. Tolkien from Lord of the Rings, of course, H.P. Lovecraft, among others there. And respects. These are some games that it claims the model on. Colossal Caves, Zork. Wasn't really big in the Zork. Atari 26 Adventure. That's probably the first adventure RPG type thing I played. Proving Grounds of the Mad Overlord. Ultima 1, 2, 3, and 4. The original Ultimas. The Bard's Tale. Great game. Goldbox series. Some of my favorite games. Bane of the Cosmic Forge. Might and Magic, of course. Eye of the Beholder 1 and 2. Dungeon Master. Crusaders of the Dark Savant. Ultima Underworld. Part of the Ultima series. Lands of Lore, of course, classic, and Force Follow. And thanks here for Australian Multimedia Enterprise. So it must have been had something to do with ties to Australia. I'm not sure if the creator is from Australia. Probably is. Some other stats there. And visitors to our website have still been loyally supportive of our game throughout the countless interminable delays and remained optimistic after any responsible person would have concluded that our product would never be finished. I guess for 20 years, it's understandable. Our thanks to all the true believers in Grimoire for keeping the faith and the hope that wait was worth it after many years of development. If you know anyone who has spent, this is great, anyone who has spent more than 2 years working on any game, please do not allow them to suffer in silence. That's a desperate cry for help, and should make an effort to refer that person to a qualified mental health professional. Pretty funny. And then bibliography. So I guess this is maybe based on 1993 conceptual definitions and ontologies by this guy, T.R. Gruber. And then please play these other fine shareware role-playing games. I've not played any of these games. I think I've heard of the Exile ones, and I love the Spiderware software ones by Jeff Vogel. And the Exiles 1, 2, and 3. I have a bunch of the Spiderware software games. Love those. These I have not tried yet, so definitely have to look into that. At no time, this is funny. At no time were any of the monsters injured during the creation of Grimoire, except for the senseless torture and brutal killing of hundreds of thousands of them during beta testing. This game is dedicated to the many hard-working, law-abiding monsters in the community, and in no regard represents an effort to impugn the general character of monsters, or to imply that monsters are, by definition, dangerous or menacing. It's kind of funny. I like this stuff. Say no to drugs and alcohol. Life is hard enough without adding, as it is without adding to your miseries with false optimisms and bad courage. Play games instead. Amen. Go out of your way to be especially kind, patient, gentle with children. They are our last best hope. That is so true. And read The Law by Frederick. Best name I've ever heard. This is funny. Exercise, get lots of sunlight, and drink plenty of water. And eat more. Eat more fat, protein, and vegetables. Eggs, milk, butter, and steak are health foods. Yeah. Okay. And that's it. So alright, so I was going to go into the stats and everything of all the characters, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this video here, keep this one short. Just wanted to give you a basic overview of the game. You know, configuration, you know, credits, story, all that stuff. And I think in the next video I'm going to do a run through of all the classes and their strengths and weaknesses, that kind of stuff. So we'll do with that. And then if you guys would like to take part in this, I'm probably going to try to start it by this weekend, which is today's Tuesday, so it's the 23rd. So I'm probably going to try to start it by the weekend, towards the end of the month of October here. And if you'd like to create a character, let me know what race and class that you would like, and other things that we're going to talk about, you know, how you want to distribute your points and stuff like that. And I'll try to do that the best as possible. And I think this would be good if I could. First couple of videos might not be live stream, but I'm definitely going to try to learn how to live stream, get my computer set up for YouTube live streaming or Twitch, probably YouTube though. YouTube live streaming, and we'll go from there. Maybe we'll have like a certain night when we do this, or a certain couple nights of the week. But something to add a little variety to the channel. So, alright, so thank you for joining. It's Eric from Higher Ground Gaming. My co-host, Mr. Brody and Miss Mags. Thank you for joining us. So take care and God bless. Bye-bye now. Say bye to your fans, Brody. You want to create a character and play the game? Yeah, Mr. Brody's all excited. He's not sure what he's going to do, but probably going to create one for him, one for Miss Mags, and one for myself. And then there's 5 more slots there available to some viewers here if they'd like. So, alright, so take care and God bless.